All right, everybody, we back again. Episode of Kicking Facts. I'm CAB. This is Brad Lee. Here today, we're going to talk about money. Why isn't it always a good thing to have, especially in moderation or excess? So now, there's a lot of reasons that this topic is relevant. We're going to hit some topics. I got maybe 7 reasons why money isn't always a good thing. Now, everybody since birth is pretty much programmed to do a couple of things. One, they want to live a good life, which you need money for. They want to be able to take care of their kids if they have them, which you need money for. They want to be able to live a moderate, decent life and have nice things, which you need money for. So since birth, after we were walking and talking and learn to go potty, we learn to worship money in a sense because it's tied to our overall happiness. Right? Right. Now, so this is one of the reasons why this topic, we're going to hit this topic today. Because here at Kicking Facts, we don't just talk about one specific thing. We talk about all different genres of things to talk about. You know, we talk about women, we talk about men, we talk about money, we talk about life. We might talk about dogs one day, music, you never know. But everything is definitely going to be facts. So here's the disclaimer. You might like or not like some of the things we're saying, but you will not be able to dispute them once you hear why they are the way they are, and we give you scenarios on what we're talking about, and they will definitely be facts. So, all right, here we go. Why having money is not always a good thing. Now, topic number 1 is everything that you do, like I said, since birth in life, you have to have a license, you have to be trained, you have to have some kind of knowledge to operate it. Hence, car, plane, a pencil. You are taught how to draw. You're taught how to have good behavior. You're taught everything, but nobody trains you on how to use money properly. Because money is nothing but a tool. It's exactly that. It's a tool. It's just like a hammer. And in the untrained hands of a hammer, you can build a house or you can kill somebody with it. Money is the same way. You put a carpenter and a guy who's trained, a hammer in his hand, he'll build a sofa. Probably the finest sofa you ever seen. Or a handyman, he will fix anything you could probably need broken. That's been broken. But in an untrained hand, you put that same hammer in a person who doesn't know how to use that hammer properly, he will put holes in walls, destroy things, probably hurt himself. And money is the exact same thing. If you're not trained how to have money and how to use money properly, you will hurt yourself and others. So that's probably one of, if not the biggest problem with people in money is that, like I said, they're not trained on how to deal with money. But everything else in life you deal with and you go through, you're trained to do that. You know, so and why we're not trained in a society that teaches us that money is everything, but they don't train us. I'm not talking about like financial advisors and stuff that you have to go to school for, but we're talking like you don't have to go to school to learn how to walk, how to talk. These are things, like I said, since birth. Money should be, and money is also taught the need for that and why you need it and how you base everything off of it since birth, but nobody teaches you about it. They just tell you need it. Which is kind of like love, but that's a whole nother podcast. All right, so now how do you ask yourself, how do you get trained? As in anything, you have to be diligent. You have to look at examples of other people, what they do with money, how they do it wrong. People around you, take good advice. We talked about advice before. You can't take advice from people who don't have any money because they can't tell you how to keep it. And the rest of the topics that we're going to hit on this will hopefully at the end, we're going to explain to you why it is and it's a good thing to worship money, and having money is a good thing and a bad thing, but only in moderation. It's just like everything on this planet can kill you. Too much oxygen will blow you up. Too much water will drown you. But you need oxygen and water to live. Too much of something and anything will automatically hurt you, and money is no exception. All right. The second thing you got to realize about money is money will not change you. I'm going to say it again. Money will not change you. The biggest misconception about money in any form or fashion or moderation, they think that it's going to change their lives for the better. And it's not. Money doesn't make you any taller unless you get some stents in your legs, or it won't make you no shorter unless you get some surgeries to get it cut out. It won't give you courage like the cowardly lion. It won't. Liquor could do that. You give you liquor courage, and you can probably buy some liquor. But at the end of the day, if you are a person who has low moral standards, broke, you are a person with low moral standards with money. If you are a person that's a bad father, you're a bad father broke, and you're a bad father with money. If you are a woman with slutty aspirations, you are a slutty aspirational chick with money. Does not change you. So it just doesn't. Money, it only makes you do things in access. If you're a crackhead and you get $1 million, you're gonna smoke big rocks, and you're gonna smoke $1 million worth of rock until you die. It's not gonna make you not smoke. It's not gonna make you want to seek help in counseling. No, because you got $1 million. You're just gonna do the same thing you've been doing, but in access. You're gonna, instead of going to McDonald's, you might go to fancier restaurants, but you still eat. You might drive from a bucket to a Rolls Royce, but you're still driving. You're still going from A to B, same cars, take the same gas, unless you're doing Tesla, but you're still traveling on the same roads. Nothing has changed, especially you. So keep that in mind. Money will not change you. That's the big misconception about money, is that it will change you, and it won't. Now, the other topics that we're going to hit about is how money actually makes your life a little worse. And I named this one, The Road to Hell is Paved with Good Intentions. Now, there are some people who get money and want to share it with people, because when you have money on any level, you can only buy for so many things until you're just looking at it. And I'm not going to get into much on this topic, because this is actually in the next topic that we're going to talk about. But when you're trying to help people, and you have this money, and you're trying to help people, help change their lives and things of that nature, and help them do things that they help them over obstacles that only money can fix, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself, because money is not going to, just like I said, it's not going to change situations, it's not going to change their situation. And you giving them money is only going to actually make your situations worse. And I'll explain to you why. You have a situation where somebody needs something. You have the means to give it to them. They fuck it up. Why? Because they're not trained. They're not trained for money. But you have it, so you give it to them. By them not being trained properly, they don't know what to do with it. So now you've spent your time and energy making this money, giving it to them, to a person that's not trained, when you think you're helping them, which is why this segment is The Road to Hell is Paved with Good Intentions. It's a good intention for you to give them that money, to help them, but they're not ready. And by them fucking up this money, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna ask you for more money. And then what they're gonna do? They're gonna fuck it up again, because they're not trained. So then they're gonna ask you for more money. So the moment you say, I've given you money 3 times, this is where the road to hell goes. You're now the bad guy, because you've helped them too many times, and you won't help them a 4th. And anybody that looks at this podcast that has a certain level amount of money, whether it's thousands, 100,000, millions, or billions, you know that's true. The first time you tell somebody no is the last time you're going to tell them no, because that person is going to let all of their hate and anger and frustration out on you. I saw actually on Facebook just today scrolling. Somebody did this thing on Jay-Z. It was him, a picture of him and Beyonce, Kim Kardashian and Diddy. And in the caption it said, one of Jay-Z cousins asked him for $4,500 and he said no. And then they said he's worth so many billions of dollars, which is equivalent to a guy making $50,000 a year asking him for a penny. That's not even the point. If you gave that man a penny and he fucked that penny up and he asked you for 3 more pennies, you're not going to keep giving him pennies. Because he's keep going to fuck him up. And it's up to you to say, you know what? You're not ready for these pennies. Whether it's a dollar, penny, 10,000 or a million. That's not that man's, it's not Jay-Z's fault because he don't want to get that man that money. That man not ready. That's like putting a loaded handgun in somebody's hand without training him. And then when he blows his own fucking brains out, you know, who's the bad guy? So you're damned if you do it and you're damned if you don't. You're damned if you help them and you're damned if you're not. Because if you don't help them, you get all of the hate associated with not helping people. Even though you have very good reasons to do it, but the first thing they're going to say is, you have all of these means and all this money to help me, but you won't help me. Not knowing that you're not ready for it. Fuck all that. You just said no. And now all of that anger and hate from that person is focused on you. And everybody that person knows, anger is focused on you. So every time that person thinks about you or talks about you, it's in a negative light. All because you said no to some shit that they're not even ready for. So, which is why, back to the topic of this line, is the road to hell is paved with good intentions. You might try to be good, but all it does is put anger towards you from people who once were your friends or family or whatever. And you can only, and I believe in the universe, you can only have so much hate projected on you before you start getting that negative also, which is how that road to hell is paved. So, right? Just
spot on. Yeah. Right. I mean, there's a fine line between helping somebody and enabling somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, give a man a fish, teach a man to fish. You know, mm-hmm. whole thing. You got to give them that skill set. You know, handing them money.
Be trained.
Handing them money is not doing anything.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah. All right. Now the next one is making money is easy, keeping it is hard. Now, anybody with money, you probably heard this before. Making money, you can. There are literally. Like the old saying, there's a million ways to die, choose one. There's a million ways to make money, choose one. The only difference is, do you have the drive and the tenacity to pick one and stick with it? You can't sit in the house all day playing Call of Duty under some girl who works every day and got on welfare or whatever, and thinking that you're going to just, hit the lottery and pop up one day and be rich. It don't work like that. Anybody who's ever had anything, they will tell you, I worked my ass off for it. I did this, I did that. I got up when I didn't want to get up. I worked long hours. Whether you hustling or you're a financial advisor or you work in the stock market, you up all night. You're doing things that other people don't do so you can get ahead. So it just doesn't work that way. You just can't just get money falling from the sky. It don't work like that. So making money can be easy, but you got to apply yourself. And like I say, the hard part is keeping it. Because if you're not making money, the opposite of making it is losing it. So if you have a person or people in your life that aren't helping you make money or saving you money, they're costing you money. And there's only so much you can spend without saving or making your money. So if you don't have that balance between making it and saving it, and then you have an overwhelming force of spending it, you won't keep it. Now, I've heard of stories of people, and you've seen them yourself, and I'm quite sure that everybody has seen some celebrity or some lottery winner who had all this money and lost it. Those are the people who are more prone to eat a bullet than somebody who got their heart broken. Because those are the people who walk around people going, man, whatever happened to you? Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Whatever happened to him? He used to be getting it. He used to be this. He used to be that. You don't want to be that used to guy. Nobody wants to be the used to girl or guy, or whatever happened to girl or guy. Which is why I say keeping it is hard. You spend more hours awake trying to figure out how to. You make $1,000. You try. If you spend it, it's gone. Unless you can figure out how to duplicate it and keep duplicating and keep duplicating. That is what keeps you up at night. Not trying to lose it. Trying to get that fine balance on, so you don't want to be that guy who used to have. And like I said, the recipe is easy. If you're not saving it yourself, or have people around you that's not helping you save it, or make it, or you're not making it yourself, you are spending it. Because everybody around you is going to cost you money. Everything that you want and desire is going to cost you money. None of that stuff is making you money. Which is why, like I said, a lot of people I used to have. And if you're not mentally strong, you will probably eat a bullet. Because there's nothing more, like I say, love is a whole nother ballgame, it's a whole nother podcast. Having your heart broken does not compare to losing all your money or being a person who had. So it's hard, but you have to have that discipline. Brad?
Yeah, I go along with that. I mean, you look at all these NBA players and things like that, you know, trying to keep up with the Joneses. And, you know, so-and-so's got an $80 million contract, you got a $40 million contract, you're trying to keep up with $80 million when you only got $40 million. You know.
And yeah, and that's why a lot of them you see are broke, especially NFL, sports leagues, even rap. And it's a simple recipe. It's a simple recipe: making it, saving it, spending it. You have to have a balance. If you're not making or saving as much as you're spending, you will go broke. It's no such thing as winning. You will. So that's a key point. Now, the next one is you will lose family and friends. You will lose them. Now, when you have money, the people around you are automatically seen entitled. Because if they're not making the money with you, they don't know how you made it. Here's one thing anybody with money knows for a fact. Whether you're in the hood, whether you an NFL player or actually sports or rap or whatever. Any kind, I don't care if you're doing the dry cleaners. Only you know how much money you have. You can portray, and people can assume, the government can assume, your family, your friends, and all of they can assume how much money you have, but only you know at night what your bank account says. People live outside of their means all the time. And that's what happens when people try to spend your money. Because they think they know what you got and what you can afford and what you can, because of the cars you drive, the jewelry you wear, where you go to eat at, where you go to, the kind of women that you deal with. They're judging your finances based upon that, but they don't know. And what do? They, I would say, inflate. Most times inflate your financial worth to you. And ask you for things or do things and put you in a position where, but only you know. You could be faking it till you make it, living paycheck to paycheck. I know people right now who have nice cars, work job every day, and can barely pay the car note. But they look like they're getting it. So when your family and your friends, they put you up on this pedestal and they say, "Oh man, you got it, you got it, you got it," and then you're forced to go back. You're forced to go back to telling them no and be shady or be cryptic, and then once again you get that hate. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. That's actually a very good thing, because if you do have money, if you lose friends and family members for small money, they won't cost you big money. If your cousin loans, you loan him $100 and he doesn't pay it back, guess what? When you got away cheap, because when he won't hit you for 100 or 10,000 or $1 million, because he showed you his face for cheap. So it's not always a bad thing. So now you know what column to put people in. This is why I said you want to lose family, you want to lose friends. Not always a bad thing though. So The good thing, how you spend that is you lose them for the low. You don't let them hang around and get you for millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars before you realize what kind of people they are. You wanna not pay, let them not pay you $5, okay? Then $5,000. Because if he ain't gonna pay you $5, what in the actual fuck do you think he's gonna do with $5,000? So that's not what I say. It's not always a bad thing. I think Drake got the song when he says I'm probably dating us. He says I don't know, I'm not really a big Drake fan, but I heard him say this and I like that. Damn, that's some words of wisdom. Because he said I'm losing not of friends, but not losing sleep. But I think that's a fair trade to me and something like that. I'm probably murdering the song, but anybody that has money knows that to be true. The more friends you lose or family members you lose gives you more zeros on your commas. Trust me. From somebody who got a little something, the more people that you cut out, the more money you have, unfortunately. Because for every one person that you don't have to give money to or support or do whatever, and they've shown you that they can't handle it, that money stays where it's at. It goes from that, like I said before, that spending it to saving it, to making it. It goes back to that saving category. Right?
I agree. It goes straight back in the pocket.
Yep. All right, now, the last one is this. Everyone is not meant to have money. And most people in my life, and I practice this because I can only tell you what caused it. Cav, I say this and I say this 1,000 times. And I call it one of my worst apocalypses. If everybody had money. And if everybody woke up with $1 million in their bank, it would be the end of the world. It would be the end of the world. Because you couldn't go nowhere to eat because there wouldn't be nobody to serve you or cook that food. You couldn't go buy a car because there wouldn't be nobody in the factories making cars or selling cars because they already got money. You wouldn't be able to go get your hair cut because the barber's already got money. You know, he busy trying to, like everybody else, trying to figure out where we gonna get some services at.
Won't be nothing to buy. The truck drivers
all the truck drivers at home because they got $1 million sitting in the bank. So there is a balance. You know, everybody can't be rich. Everybody can't be poor. So everybody's not meant to have money. It's like I told you in the first one. You want in the other segment, you getting it, keeping it hard. You have to be trained. You got to be ready, prepared to lose what you're ready to lose, and it won't change you. You got to understand all these things to even have it in the first place, which is why I made this the last one. Everybody isn't meant to have money. Some people are just, it's just like some people can't drive. Some people can't shoot. Some people are just untrainable. Some people can't, just not mechanically inclined. Some people can't change a tire. You know, it's just certain things that people just aren't meant to do.
AAA, baby.
You know, it's not a knock on them. It's just that it's balanced. You're not meant to do everything. You have to have space in your life for other people to do things because, and I'm going to add one more after this one. But everybody's not meant to have money. So don't feel bad if you don't have it. If you can, actually two more. Because if money is not your problem, everything else is. Now, I'm going to slow down for the slow people out there. Because if money is not your problem, everything else is. Because the real problems are the ones that money can't fix. Those are the real problems. You can't buy love, you can't buy happiness, you can't buy immortality. None of those things you can be bought. Now, for those people who work every day and work paycheck to paycheck, they know where their money's coming because they work for it. They know how much money they got to spend on their bills because they're their bills. They live within their means. And they live a happy existence. I call it happy broke. And the only issues they got are ones that money can fix. How am I gonna pay my bills? Electric bill, car note. Oh, gotta buy the kids this. Gotta put these groceries in there. Those are problems that money can fix. So they're not really problems because they're fixable problems with money. And not very a lot, you don't really need a lot. But when you have those problems that money can't fix, those are the ones that, like I say, that make you eat something. They put the gun right in your head and blow your head clean off. Because when money can't fix a problem, that's a real problem. So that is definitely one of the, if not one of the biggest things. Like I say, if money, sometimes I wish I had, like I could go live a regular old life and not have a whole bunch of this and that to deal with. But unfortunately, it's not in the cards for me. I mean, then they say it's lonely at the top or rich people alone. Yeah, that shit's real because you can't trust nobody. Anybody that was after your money, you can't trust because you don't know why they're there. You don't know. So any woman that you meet, you can't trust. So love is out of the question. And if you meet somebody that's rich like you or got the same means you got, they're going through the same things. They're going to be on top of you to make sure they want to keep theirs. And every dollar you spend, like I said, more than them or less than them, they're clocking you more than anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, you spend $50,000 more than me, and that's some of my money. You know, so it's like it doesn't make it doesn't make you happy in the long run. So everybody's not meant to have it. You got to be trained. You're gonna lose a lot of folks. You have to be diligent when you're dealing with money. And if you ain't got money, like I say, it's not a hard, don't, it's not the end of the world. I mean, people who are watching this, the fact that you can get up and go to a job and pay your bills, you should be thankful that you don't have to go pay for 50 people to work or figure out how to keep 50 people mouths fed or 50 people's livelihoods. That's some work. Keeping that up so that you have to do everything on your point and making sure that everything is point up here to make sure that all these people get fed because they're looking up to you. If you got any kind of level of money, you didn't do it yourself. Now, don't get me wrong, unless you won the Powerball or something, those are the worst kinds because they always lose their money. That's a statistic. That's actually a fact. You can Google that. There's like 80% of the lottery winners who win all the money, they're broke or dead or in jail or somebody just took it from them because of just these reasons that we talked about. But actually being financially wealthy and making something in your business or whatever, you can't do it by yourself. You can have an idea, but there's zero chance, because you can't do everything. You can't be everyone. You can't be everywhere. You cannot. So you can't do it by yourself. So there's nothing wrong with relying on people and taking people with you. You see it all the time. Some people, they take them with you, but you can't take people with you that aren't trained. You have to coach them up. You have to do all these things that we talked about and know which ones to take and which ones to leave behind. Because it's not up to you to make them ready. They want to be ready. So other than that, I think that is the end of this segment.
Don't let money become your God.
Yeah.
You can be rich in many other ways. You can be rich in relationships.
Yeah.
You know, money is not everything.
Yeah. And if you put your life solely based on money, it's a sorry existence. Trust me. Because as you all very well know, you cannot take it with you. Because they put it in your coffin with you, if you can, but you still ain't taking it with you. It's gonna be in that coffin. You're gonna be somewhere else, moneyless. So
if you're living like that, you really
yeah.
gonna be somewhere else.
Yeah. So, but you're gonna go the same way you came in. But this is CAB.
Bradley.
This is Kicking Facts. See you in the next one. All right, and that's it.